Yo, what is up, guys? This is the Brickdo here, and we have some official images now of the two Book of Boba Fett sets that are going to be releasing from LEGO Star Wars here. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. I'll give you my thoughts on each of the sets. Lots to discuss, some interesting things too. So without further ado, first one up, we have Boba Fett's Throne Room. This is going to be 732 pieces for $100. It's going to include 7 minifigures, though, and this is, I think, is what I'm almost most excited for about this set. You're going to be getting Boba Fett, Fennec Shan, Bib Fortuna, a Thelan Dancer, a Quarren, a Gamorrean Guard, and a Weequay Guard. So at the end of the day, I think, the minifigure selection, in my opinion, is fantastic. We're getting some new molds here, some minifigures we haven't seen before, and as of now, some of these are exclusive to this set, and, I think I've seen a lot in regards to the price point of these sets. And them being overpriced. I think this one, just talking about this one, I think this one is, I think, at a fine price point, at the $100 point, given the minifigures you get. And I do think the build is decently substantial at that price point as well. So discussing a little bit more about the build. So interesting enough, I think if you look at the name of this set, it's Boba Fett's Throne Room. We don't get, it's not necessarily the palace, and I think, that's for a few reasons. I think they wanted to focus more on some of the interior aspects of this and keep it at that $100 price range without getting into something over that. But I think also too, remember, if the last one we had, it ran into some issues, with the depiction of the palace and the temple. So I think maybe they're staying very clear of that and making the focus on this as sort of the throne room there. And I think as that goes, I think it's a decent build as sort of a play set there. As you can see through some of these images. I mean, my issue with this build a little bit, I understand what they're doing here and kind of keeping the focus, like I said, on sort of the interior aspect of this, that it probably didn't want to depict temple to get into sort of hot water again. But I do think just from a display standpoint, it's not great. And this one, I think, sort of displays that sort of best here. However, I do think there are a couple things that maybe we don't know about this set yet that maybe we're going to be hearing about. And specifically, I think there's definitely the room for attachments on this set, additions for this set. And if you can see what I mean here, the top of this part here actually has some hinges. And to me, I do think that could be a possibility of an addition on top. What that might be, who knows? I think, a lot of people are talking about it could be his room, sort of like a upstairs addition, or obviously sort of the pits below as well. So I think opportunities for both of that. We don't know specifically if we'll be getting any of that yet, but I think there's been a lot of sort of communication around that, and I definitely think that that'll probably be something that they do, especially kind of giving that naming convention too, kind of keeping it very specific to this. I could see them doing an extension and kind of, making it sort of come together, but keeping each individual set, still something desirable or specific. So overall, I think this is a pretty great set. One thing I would like to add too, kind of moving into the second set, is the for the Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter. I just want to take a moment and give you guys a look at this box art. I think this is probably one of the best box arts we've seen from LEGO Star Wars in recent times. I don't know why, I really like sort of the green accents here. I like the continuity that we're getting from the Book of Boba Fett from these LEGO Star Wars sets, and I do like how my eyes sort of get drawn to the minifigure section as well. And I think especially in both these sets, I think the minifigures are definitely a big draw, and I do like sort of this cartoonish animated characters of Boba Fett and Fennec Shan. So overall, box art I give it a huge thumbs up for that. It kind of reminds me almost similar to, I think it's 2012 had the green box art with the Yoda, if I'm not mistaken. That was the year with the UCS X-Wing remake. I think that's 2012. I could be mistaking it, but somewhere around there, we did get the green box art. Maybe it was 2013, I think, but somewhere around there, it kind of gives me that sort of vibes, and I always like that box art specifically. Okay, so this set. Now, this one I'm not going to be as, I would say, I'm going to be a little bit harsher on this set. I do think at the $60 price point, you heard that right, $60 for 412 pieces for an N1 Starfighter with 4 minifigures. I'm going to kind of put that in like quotes, though. As one of them is the child and the other one is the BD droid. The BD droid, that's a new mold, so that's something, if you were looking for that, I guess, you might be happy about that. We also get Moto, and we also get the Mandalorian. So I guess sort of my issue with this set is really just that price point. I'm okay with, the 412 pieces for $60 if I felt like we were getting just a really good minifigure selection. And to be fair, I think it's not bad. The issue I have with it, though, is some of the characters in, Boba Fett's throne room, those are characters that I think people are really looking to see remakes of, really looking to see updates of. And for me, I'm just not super excited about Moto or even the BD droid personally. Those are things that characters that I wasn't like really looking forward to have a minifigure version of that, if that makes sense. And maybe that's more of a personal thing. Didn't enjoy those characters as much, but I guess I did like, the BD droid I think is cool. And one aspect with the BD droid I would like to point out here before I forget is, rumor is that'll be sort of the buildable sort of droid figure we're going to be getting sometime, I think, later this year. So it does make sense that we got a new mold of this, because usually with that you get the minifigure one and also it's sit on that stand. And then obviously the buildable BD droid I think will be cool. So I think that's probably why they went ahead and made a mold for this. They'll probably be using it again sometime in the future, if I had to guess. The Starfighter itself, regardless of the price, sort of just moving on to the design of it, I think is really spot on. I do like how we have a lot of the open compartments in the engine sort of bay area. I think that's really great. Definitely pretty accurate, I would say, to what we saw in the show. So I like that aspect. I will say with these N1 Starfighters, they do sort of, they're just a shiny ship. And, obviously LEGO going away from the super metallic pieces that we saw like way back when, I'm trying to think like the old UCS Naboo Starfighter, the one from episode 1. Obviously use those metallic parts. I was starting using these here, and I'm not sure exactly what color those pieces are, but I do think that we'll have that little bit of that sort of metallic blend, I would say, kind of that plastic look. And I can't remember the colors of those specifically, but if you know what I'm talking about, I think you'll be decently satisfied with that and the depiction of that from the show to the set. But that is sort of something that can't really be necessarily fixed, I would say. It's sort of just a thing with this set, and you're going to sort of have to deal with it. I do think this is a decently sizable ship. That's the one thing that I'm kind of holding out here for, with it priced at $60. I think it could be surprisingly large in my mind, like what I'm thinking of past, N1 Starfighters that we've sort of gotten. So that's sort of the one sort of maybe saving grace for this set at that $60 price point, but overall a little bit overpriced. And I'm not too happy to see that, but I do think this will be a set that'll be, $48, pretty soon after release on Amazon or whatnot. So if you're looking to get this set, I will say that I do see this one being one of those ones that sort of gets slashed to 20% off really quick if this is something you're looking out for. And also, too, like I said, just a reminder with that BD droid, I will expect that to be in the buildable BD droid if that turns out to be true. So if that's something you really want and you're not sure if you're going to be able to get it in another set, I would go ahead and wait. If that's your main draw to this set and see what comes of that, if that's something that's of interest to you. So guys, it sort of wraps up my thoughts of these two sets here. Overall, box art, big thumbs up. The design of the sets I think are pretty good. Specifically, I love the N1 Starfighter design. Boba Fett's throne room I think is pretty good. Minifigure selection, N1 Starfighter I would say lacking quite a bit. Boba Fett's throne room gets a huge thumbs up for me. So I think some of these sets sort of compensate each other, just as far as where one's lacking, one's kind of picking up. So I do like these two sets sort of coming out for the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, and I'm excited to see these on shelves. So I want to see that new box art in person too. I think it's going to look fantastic. Anyway, if you guys are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, guys, this is the Brick Duo signing off.